Hey everyone, it's Angela Petrilli. I am here in the iconic vintage room at Guitar Center Hollywood. We're here today with a Gibson Custom Eric Clapton 1958 Les Paul Custom. One of the first things when I pick up an instrument is I immediately feel the neck. Is it comfortable? Does it make me want to play the instrument? And this neck in particular, it's pretty remarkable. It feels like someone has played this and has loved this and has used this on the road. It feels like it's been sweat on. It feels like it's been in hot venues and tiny blues clubs. It is unbelievable the mojo that this has. This feels like it's a guitar that's 60 years old. It really inspires me to want to play guitar. This thing is very, very cool. This guitar is based off the instrument that Eric used in the mid to late 60s, used with Cream and Delaney and Bonnie, and he used it through the 70s, and then he gifted it to his friend and colleague, Albert Lee. The folks over at Gibson left no stone unturned, even going so far as to replicate the cigarette detail on the headstock of the instrument. Really lends to the mojo and the vibe, and again, going back to having an instrument that inspires you, that is based on the iconic and rich history of Eric Clapton. So obviously, this is a very special Gibson. We have 3 unique pickups with this guitar. You can get something that's very mellow and just sits right in the pocket, that's very buttery. You can get something that's very dynamic, and you can get something that bites and really cuts through a mix. So before I get started into playing, just talk a little bit about the gear that I am using today. I am going to be on the neck position. As far as the amp goes, I am using a Marshall JTM 45, and for just a touch of delay, I have the Strymon El Capistan. So tonally, that neck position sounding really killer, has a lot of bite, a lot of richness, and a lot of beautiful low end, which is something, especially if you're playing really driving blues rock, you want something that's gonna sit really nicely in a mix, has that nice uplifting growl and foundation for the rest of the band. Going back to the neck on this, playing chords in that position, it is super cozy and really, really comfy. Feels absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and explore the range of this pickup. So a lot of us, we just set it at 10, forget it, right? But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go and look at the different vibes that you can get just by dialing in the tone knob on this Les Paul. So let's go ahead and give it a try. I'm gonna give this a bit more grit, so I have my Analog Man Prince of Tone here for a bit more overdrive, and then I have the Strymon El Capistan for just a touch of delay. Here we go. I have the tone knob on 10. Now what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna bring the tone knob down to about 5. So now, searching for that Eric Clapton woman tone. So I have the tone knob all the way down to 0. So as we can see here, these pickups have a very wide range. You want to get nice and bitey and cut through a mix, bring that tone all the way to 10. You want to mess around with maybe getting something a little warmer, something that's a bit more delicate, maybe something that's very conversational, very human-like. You can go all the way down to 0 and get this nice mellow tone that truly, truly emulates that tone that Eric Clapton got in the mid to late 60s. Really phenomenal what they did here with that. All right, so now we're in the middle position. You really can't go wrong with a Les Paul in the middle position. You get the best of both worlds here. So let's go ahead and hear it. What I have here, I'm gonna go straight through the amp and with just a touch of delay with the Strymon El Capistan. From that last example, we hear a very glassy sounding pickup. Has a lot of bite, but yet has a lot of roundedness. When we think of a 3 pickup Les Paul, right, we're covering a lot of sonic ground here versus with a 2 pickup Les Paul, we're missing a lot of the action that we have towards the middle. All right, so what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to turn the tone on both of the knobs down to 0, and I'm gonna play a little walk, because I feel like I have to, right? It's mid to late 60s Eric Clapton. We gotta do a little bit. I have the Strymon El Capistan for just a touch of delay going through the amp, and then I have my Oxbow wah here. So with this last example, again, the tone was down all the way to 0. We're getting a lot of that beautiful enunciation that we would expect from that Eric Clapton woman tone. I used both rhythm and lead parts to really explore the neck. Again, it's comfortable all the way up here towards the headstock. I have an R9 back at home, and this medium C neck really reminds me of the neck profile of my guitar that I have. Very comfortable, very intuitive, easy to get around the neck, which is something that's really important. Again, if you're looking to get a guitar and you want to be inspired by one, having a neck that really makes you want to play and pick up the instrument is super important. So now we're at the bridge pickup. We would expect something that is very bitey, cuts through the mix, has a lot of tonal character. That's what we're looking for. When we want to pop on and play a lead, what do? We click the bridge pickup and we are good to go. So let's go ahead and explore this. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring all the tone knobs back to 10. And again, like we did with the neck pickup, let's go ahead and look and see all of the variations that these pickups can bring. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and bring the tone to 5. I'm going to do a very similar riff just to see the difference in the variation and again the tonal qualities that this pickup can bring. And now let's go ahead and bring the tone all the way to 0. we can see that the amp with a touch of delay and the variations and the range of the pickups allows you to get just a nuance of many different sounds that this Les Paul can bring. All right, so I have the tone all the way down to 0. I have my Prince of Tone by Analog Man overdrive just to use as a boost. All right, so let's see how that sounds. So as we can see, with just a touch of overdrive used as a boost for that bridge pickup, we get a very nuanced, very reactive, very uplifting sound from that bridge pickup. It allows you to really cut through a mix, but has a lot of character here. I know if I was playing a lead in a band, in an ensemble, I would most certainly go towards that tone. And again, I encourage you guys, by messing around with the tone knobs, you can really get different variations in that pickup sound, so it's not just like single note and one dimensional. Using those tone knobs allows you to add a bunch of dimension to your playing. I think what they're doing at the Murphy Lab is phenomenal. All of those appointments that you would expect from an aged instrument, I see here, and they go so far as to replicate something like a cigarette burn. I'm very fortunate to play a lot of vintage instruments. I get my hands on a lot of these, and honest, if I had a blindfold, I'm not sure I'd be able to tell. It's that good. And it's not nicks and scratches and dents for the sake of doing it because it looks cool. They really did it right here to the points where the details, you can tell that someone had their thumb across the fretboard and building those chords that had the thumb over the top. It is so beautifully done and feels so natural. I picked this up and I'm immediately inspired. When I first opened the case with this guitar, it felt like you were taking a glimpse back into history and thinking about all the music that was written and played on the guitar that this was based on. You see a pickguard that was signed by Eric and Albert and thinking, wow, some of the best to ever do it have touched this and signed off on just the authenticity and just pure greatness of this recreation of this beautiful and iconic instrument. It's a really special thing. This guitar is being in an extremely limited run, only 150 worldwide. If you want to learn more, visit guitarcenter.com. You can call one of their expert gear advisors, or you can stop in at your local GC.